So this is just a quick video talking about the makeup process that me and River underwent for our final screen performance of the year, which took place on the 14th of May 2024. It was an Emmerdale script between characters Ross Barton and Rona Goskirk. So I'm just going to be talking about the products we used, how we applied it, and the adaptations we had to make. So with the application process, what we had to do was we had to contour the parts of the face that we were gonna be putting the makeup onto. So it was on the left side of the face, and it went from about here, and it went all the way around down to the neck, and some on the ear as well, and some on the nose. So it was like basically just that half of the face was covered. And the same with the hand, it went to about the middle finger and down to probably where my watch is, to be honest. Because it's sort of like the acid was sort of stopped on the cuff of his sleeve, so that'd be about where my watch is, and it went up to about the knuckle on the middle finger, and then just covered that of his hand. So we contoured the area that we had to like cover, that the makeup would be going on to, and then we'd completely fill it in so we knew exactly where we were going, so we didn't lose track at all. And then we'd put a layer of liquid latex over the contour, and then we'd add foundation before the scar wax so it had something to stick to, and that was one of the adaptations and improvements that we made, because when we first tried it, the scar wax wouldn't blend at all. So then we were like, why don't we put foundation on so it has something to blend into? So we put the scar wax onto the right areas, and we didn't use a lot of scar wax. I think if we had more time we would have used more, and we covered like the most of the cheek. We did about there, a little bit on the forehead and down by the temple, a bit on the nose, a bit on the chin about there, and then some on the neck. We left the scar wax for the ear because it was enough trying to get the liquid latex in the right place without it sort of running, so we had to just work with what we had in the time that we had. So we put the scar wax onto the right areas, and then we put another layer of liquid latex so it'd be easy to peel off, so we didn't have to take the scar wax off and then peel the rest of it off. Another layer of foundation to make sure it all fit in with River's skin tone, as River was the one wearing the makeup, not me. So foundation so it all fit River's skin tone, as the scar wax is quite dark. And then we'd add setting powder to make sure it was all definitely in place and it'd be easy to remove. And then we'd add eyeshadow, as the acid scar was quite red, and it was a variety of different colours at various different points. So to make sure we had a little bit more colour to it, then that's how we added colour. We just used eyeshadow and then blended it out over the neck, the ear, and the left side of the face. We did have to, as I mentioned, we did have to alter quite a few things. So we had to change a bit of the makeup to suit River's face, as the character who played Ross, Mike Parr, he has a beard, so this acid scar stopped where his beard was. So, and obviously River doesn't have a beard, so it was just a completely like line of makeup free. That is on my portfolio. It's a photo of me wearing the makeup because River had to film that day, so we did a swap and we're like, well, we'll try it on me instead. So I had a complete bit missing there, so that's in practical for the showreel, and you'll see the massive bit that was missing, and then you'll see the end result and how we've managed to fit it to River's face. So yeah, that was the main adaptation we had to make, and another one as well was adding the foundation before we put the scar wax on, because otherwise it just was not going to blend whatsoever. So we made sure that it all blended out, so then we put the foundation on so the scar wax would have something to stick to. But yeah, and products we used and tools we used was we used River's Revolution contour palette, her Rimmel Lasting Finish Full Coverage Foundation, a Beauty Bay Bright Matte eyeshadow palette, This scar wax, I think it's inverted so you can't see very well, it's My Sense scar wax. And liquid latex, which just came in a little packet. I got them in a set from Amazon, it was very cheap. We used beauty blenders, Q-tips, 3 makeup brushes, one was a foundation brush, one was an eyeshadow brush, one was a contour brush, and we used a plastic spatula, which we had to adapt and change because we had a metal one to start with and that would just not work with us trying to put it on the face, smooth the scar wax out, anything. So we had to swap out the metal spatula for a plastic one and that worked a lot better. But overall, I think the application went good. We've got stills and photos of the final thing, and also the process from start to finish. So yeah, that was the makeup application process to get River's acid scar on her face.